What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Poké Collab, episode 17. How you guys liking that? My name is
Yeah.
Ivan. I'm from Chard. That is Orin. He's from where?
Pokey, no, I was gonna say Poké Collab, Block and Pixel. But I'm
Yes,
also
but
from Poké Collab.
exactly, Orin. We form Poké Collab with our collab. But hey, it's going good. Today's date is January 4th, 2025. Orin, first episode of 2025 season.
We
Woo!
made it.
We made it. We got a lot for you guys today. Um, we have an experience with our Rayquaza Terror Raid. We also are going to be talking about the new 151 Blooming Waters that will be coming out next month. I had purchased the Paradox Fury Premium Collection, so I'm going to be going over my experience with that. Oren has just bought the Trim UI brick, so he's going to be giving us a rundown on how he's been enjoying it. Yeah, looks pretty cool. All right, and that should do it for our show today. A lot to talk about. So, Poke Collab, where we collect, train, and battle together. I forgot to do our intro. So that's what we are. That's what we do. And so, Oren, let's get into it with the Rayquaza Terror Raid.
Yeah,
How did you overall feel about the whole experience of the Terror Raid when you first did
I don't think they communicated it well enough,
it?
personally. Um, I think I think that there was enough information on the internet to figure it out, but like I didn't find out about it from Pokemon themselves. I only found out about it from all of the Pokemon news sites I go to. And
Okay.
then I Googled how to actually get this thing. And then Google took me to other fan sites or whatever, third party sites, not Pokemon, that kind of explain how to get it. But there were still a lot of things that just weren't clear. So, like, I found out that the Shiny Rayquaza would be a raid. You'd have to get him in a Terra raid. But like, if it wasn't for the help of all these third party sites, like first of all, I found out that you first have to connect to the internet. So like use Poke Portal to connect to try and get something. So like I used a there's a couple items that I could get with codes that were available. So I connected to the internet and I got some free items.
Wow.
And you have to connect to the internet first so that way it updates the raids on your game with the Rayquaza raid. I guess if you didn't do that, the Rayquaza raid wouldn't show up without connecting to the internet. So then once I did that, then I found out to actually find the Rayquaza raid, you had to look for a dragon raid on your map, and not just a normal dragon raid, but a dragon raid that was like sparkling, like that had some
Okay.
flair to it. And what's funny was like not all of the flare dragon raids were Rayquazas. Like I went to one, it was a Blissey raid.
Oh,
So yeah, so like that wasn't super clear. So I did find one, and fortunately, I had read some advice as to like what Pokemon to use because it wasn't an easy raid.
yeah.
Like the Pokemon Company did not make getting this thing easy. And so I read up on using a Sylveon with Draining Kiss and Calm Mind. So you would use Draining Kiss as much as you could before the Rayquaza did its thing where it puts like its shields up.
Yeah.
And then you would use Calm Mind to increase the power of your Draining Kiss. So you'd use Calm Mind several times. And then when your hit points are low, you use Draining Kiss. It does more damage. It gets your HP back up.
Yeah.
So I had a Sylveon. I had a ton of rare candy and other like stuff to, give experience. So I leveled up a Sylveon to level 100. I gave it Calm Mind. I gave it Draining Kiss. And then there was a third ability that I just happened to have on it, fortunately, because I ran out of Draining Kiss like towards the end, and I still
Okay.
needed to get some damage done. So fortunately, I had this other attack that actually worked pretty well. I forget what it was called.
Yeah, me too.
Um, but like, so the first time I did it, I was alone. So and it worked out. I got it after like 3 tries, I think, with that level 100 Sylveon with those abilities. But then like I was trying to figure out. So now I want to figure out how I can help Ivan get it, right? And the internet, again, not the Pokemon company. I didn't really pay attention to what Pokemon themselves said, so maybe that's on me. But people were saying that if you have not completed the game, you cannot get the Rayquaza raid unless you go into another person's game that has completed the game. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to help Ivan since he hasn't completed the game. So the other question I had that wasn't obvious was, I've already done it. Am I still gonna be able to find it again? So
Oh,
fortunately, I did find another Rayquaza raid. I only had one other one though. So like when we did yours, when it
yeah,
was you and me, once we finished that, I wanted to find a third one to do with Ariel,
yeah.
but I couldn't find a third one. I don't know if a third one would eventually come up or if two was it. I have no clue. But so fortunately, Ariel had a Rayquaza raid on her game after we connected to the internet, and I just jumped into her console to get it. But
Okay.
like, so all that to say, I enjoy the raid. I enjoyed doing it together. It was fun. Figuring that all out was a pain.
Yeah. I think going back to what you said in the beginning, I think I saw it because of Instagram. I follow Pokemon on Instagram. I think they were saying that you can get the Shiny Rayquaza has come to Pokemon Scarlet Violet. And then yeah, I think the only other time was like you mentioning it of some sort. And then but dude, when you told me that you had to beat the game, I'm like, "Oh wow." Like I haven't no I mean I'm about halfway now. But not even capture. I'm just like through going through, um, playing the game, but not having everything or like completing the game. So that would have been a little eye-opening to me because then it would have been like, what the heck? Like I want to get it. If I didn't know that you had beaten the game, I would have been lost on this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that would really stink if you hadn't finished it and you didn't have friends who had finished it. Then you'd
Yeah.
kind of be just out of the opportunity to get this thing.
And then how Oren and I connected, like Oren didn't even know how, like, remember? You're like, how do you? So fortunately, I had done that with Pokemon Pocket, where I had battled my wife, Kayla, and it actually gives you can make up your own code, and then that person has to search for your code. So that's how we actually, Oren and I connected was by me making up a code, and he has to look for my code, and then he types it in, and then we got connected. But that was crazy.
Not to mention you have to have Nintendo Online.
Yeah,
Our subscription we had let lapse because we just weren't using it.
yeah.
So like we both signed up for trials just because like we weren't going to be able to have time to get together in person while this event was still going.
Yeah.
So like yeah, there's a lot of hurdles to jump through to make this happen.
Like, was it intentional? Like, I don't even know. Like, what? Like, why was this so complicated to get? Maybe because it's just Rick crazy. I don't know.
I think that's just the way things are,
Yeah.
like it's expected by Nintendo at this point that you have to play online, you have to have
Yeah.
Nintendo Online. That's an
Yeah.
expectation. But it's not like I guess it's clear if you're in the scene, you should know that. But if
Yeah.
you're like a parent of a 10-year-old and the 10-year-old's like, I want to do this raid with my friend Johnny. And the parent's like, well, I don't know what you need. And then it's like, well, you can't connect to Johnny because you don't have Nintendo Online. And the parent's like, well, what the heck is Nintendo Online?
Yeah.
And then they find out that they have to pay for it, and they're like, "No, you can have Johnny over next week." And then they miss the Rayquaza because they can't wait a week.
And then well, who's to say they even beat the game first?
Right? Yeah, good point.
So it's
So
like,
I don't know. Like, um, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun.
no.
Like, I had not really done raids before, with people. I had done them in game on my own, but not with people. And
Yeah.
I could totally see it becoming like a weekend, like Friday night thing, like where you and your buddies just like do all the raids and
Yeah.
Scarlet Violet. Like that would be a lot of fun. I'm not really an MMO RPG guy because they just take so much time, but like this
Yeah.
could easily be like you waste an hour or two with your friends on a Friday night.
Yeah,
So like I like the concept of the raids. I really loved the fact that they made this a promotion to go hand in hand with Horizon because the Shiny Rayquaza is a Pokemon that is a recurring theme in the TV show. So this really, again, was another tie-in. So I thought that was really cool. So yeah, I mean, again, I thought it was fun. I thought they could have explained it way better of like
yeah,
how to do it, what's required to do it, what happens once you've completed it. Because the other thing is, I was worried that so I had already gotten Rayquaza. Then I found a second Rayquaza raid for you to join me on.
yeah,
I was worried that you weren't going to be allowed to catch it because you were in my game and I had already caught it.
yeah.
Fortunately, it's funny because when we completed the raid, what it showed you was different than what it showed me.
Okay,
So for me, when we completed the raid on my screen, it didn't give me any option to catch it because I already caught it,
okay,
but it just showed me the items that I got as a reward for the
okay.
raid, and then I clicked OK, and then that was it. I was done and out of the raid already.
Oh,
In the
okay.
meantime, on your screen, it was still you in the raid
Yeah.
catching the Rayquaza, and I was so like anxious that it was gonna like kick you out prematurely because I was already out of the raid. But I don't know. So I'm glad that it let you proceed with the actual catching and then getting it. And so, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we it worked out.
yeah. And like go into it thinking that you're gonna be probably doing it a couple times. Because it ended up taking me, Orin and I, about 3 times.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
actually, Orin, I was thinking about that, and I was like, wow, I think our support, like our AI supporters, they're actually pretty decent Pokemon.
Yeah, they worked out.
That kind of helped us, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah,
Because then
just for the viewers, we when we did it together, I had my level 100 Sylveon, and
yeah,
then Ivan had a level 86 Sylveon.
yeah,
We both used the same abilities. And
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it took us like 3 tries, like you said, and
yeah.
I
Eh,
forget who our computer supporter Pokemon were, but it worked out.
The big horse, it was a big horse, and
Okay.
then yeah, I don't remember. The other one was like was it Trevent? It might have been Trevent.
No, no, no. It was that Pokemon from Horizon, the big tree in the forest.
Yeah, he
Man,
was
what is that Pokemon
huge.
called? I'm looking it up.
Oh,
I should
yeah, I
know
think
this
I
one.
know.
Arboliva.
Oh, okay, no. I was
Yeah.
thinking somebody else.
No, it was an
But
Arboliva.
no, seriously, like it was you had to had some you had to know what you're doing. Because if you
Yeah.
didn't, I mean you were I was actually going to start using items. I forget you can't use, or Orin was like, wait, you don't think you can use items on raids. So be think that, have that in mind if you're going to try and get this crazy. Well, it ends when? A couple days?
No, no, like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the other thing. So if you're watching this episode, odds are that the raid for Rayquaza is already over. So
Yeah.
hopefully you watched our last episode to
Yeah.
clue you in on it. Because I think the event ends tomorrow. Either it's
Okay.
tonight at midnight or tomorrow at midnight.
Okay.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it was fun. I think, like you said, like I liked, well, I actually did a couple raids in the game, and then that was pretty cool. And then you're like, no, you don't really need to do that. I'm like, okay, because I was thinking like, do I need to start doing these raids? Like everything was just like there's so much to do.
Hmm.
And I saw these little like crystals. I'm like, okay, do I need to get into these or like, so yeah, it was a lot of fun. Like you said, like I would totally do it, but we only have our free subscription tool for 7 days.
But yeah, like next time we hang out in person, like I would consider just loading it up and do some raids together.
Sweet. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that'd
think
be
that'd be
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, there is our raid. We got our Rayquazas, which is pretty cool. Oh, another thing too was that we caught him with luxury balls. I
Yeah.
think it was pretty cool. I'm glad I
So
had three.
yeah, I'm glad you had a luxury ball. I think so. of course you can use with a raid, you can catch any Pokemon with any Pokeball. Like they never escape no matter what you use. Ariel didn't have a luxury ball on her, so she used a heavy ball just
Mm,
because she liked the look of the heavy ball. So,
yeah,
but yeah, we went with the luxury ball because people on Reddit were like, it looks like it goes hand in hand with the shiny Rayquaza. So I think it is a nice pairing.
yeah. I think it was cool. Yeah, it was really awesome. But yeah, if they have another one, hopefully they'll have. Well, I don't know who would it be, but hopefully, hopefully they'll be a little more vocal about it and how to get it. But that is the Rayquaza Terror Raid. Awesome. Now to our next topic, on 151 Blooming Waters. What do you got about it?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this box. Let me share my screen here. It's going to be a hard one to get.
Yeah,
This is likely, I mean, we said this before, but this is likely the last 151 product that they'll be coming out with. Um, I mean, who knows?
yeah,
151 is such a good seller that we may just see another thing. But as far as we know, this is going to be the last 151 product from Pokemon. And it contains 12 151 booster packs. And we have seen some oversized cards in 151. We have the oversized Zapdos. I think there was an oversized Alakazam,
yes.
but this is the first oversized
Mhm.
card from the original starting rotation. And that's our Blastoise, which makes me think and wonder, are they going to come out with two more box sets for Charizard and Venusaur?
Yeah, that's what I
Oh,
was thinking.
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So, Blooming Waters, it's funny because I mean they do have Venusaur in this box set. There's no oversized Venusaur, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw one in the future. I'm
Hmm.
assuming the Blooming Waters is named for the blooming,
Yeah,
plant on Venusaur, and then the waters for Blastoise.
yeah,
And it's just a really cool box. I mean, who doesn't love the 151 silhouettes, the style on the box? And then they're just fun packs to rip open. Now, the
yeah,
reason I'm showing you the GameStop site, so this is gonna be a hard one to come by. Any pre-orders, likely if you're watching our show, the likelihood of you being able to jump on a pre-order before a robot or somebody who's like super on top of the stuff are very slim. I don't foresee myself getting in on any pre-orders because they're just gonna be so hard to get. But GameStop, what I wanted to point out is that GameStop will not be selling this online. It says this popular item will be available exclusively in stores starting February 7th, 2025. Don't miss out. Shop in person to grab yours. So I
yeah.
reached out to a manager at my local GameStop, who we've talked about before, and I asked him if his store is going to be getting these. And as far as he's aware, they will be getting them. He just said, be there at opening if you're
Wow.
gonna want to try and get one. So I really like the fact that GameStop is prioritizing in-store buyers for this product because, unfortunately, we've already seen the scalper market go crazy with this premium collection in Canada. So the official release date, at least in the United States, is February 7th. I think that was the same in Canada, but some stores, a lot of Costco's have reported as selling these already
Yeah,
online. And if you've watched any of the videos, it looks like old Black Friday videos of, people going crazy
yeah,
over these things to just buy and resell. And people are already like, you'll see listings popping up for scalped pre-orders that are going for like 120, 130 when these
wow.
retail at $60. So I think the best chance for the casual Pokemon collector is going to be stopping by your local GameStop on February 7th. right when they open. I know that's what I'm gonna do. Hopefully, I'll be able to get my hands on one or two. It doesn't specify if there are any limits on how many you can buy. Hopefully, they're placing limits because if they don't, whoever's first is probably going to buy all of them if they're a scalper. But we'll see how it goes. I'll report back come February 7th on how it went.
Yeah. So that's really cool. I mean, that's a Friday. So
Hmm.
um I'm
Actually,
pretty confident. What's
oh,
that?
sorry. That's the first Saturday. I'm sorry. That's the first Friday of February. So if we go to breakfast like usual, feel free to join me in going to our GameStop.
Yeah. The thing is though, like the one that I'm by, like yeah, oh no, no, that's a great idea. The one that I'm close by, I'm pretty confident that it'll have some. I mean, it's not gonna have probably like as many, but because we're talking about the Charizard Premium collection, that's where like my wife Kayla went to go get it, and yeah, they had like 4 or 5 sitting there. So
Okay.
that's the one over here. But I mean, I'm a half hour out from Orin, so
I
we'll see
wonder
how
which one
that
we should
goes.
go to.
I wouldn't mind just going out over here, but I mean, you have to take the trip.
Right. Should we do both?
Could do both.
I wonder, okay, we need to check and see when each store opens. Hopefully, they don't open at the same time. I think the
Mine
one by
opens at
me, I think it's noon.
same.
Oh, okay. We'll figure it out. We'll strategize.
Well, yeah, we'll strategize because I definitely want to have one and then one to sell.
Okay.
I think on this one I definitely want to do,
I
but I
just
don't know.
want one to open. That's all I want.
Yeah, but the thing is, the interesting thing you brought out is about how, yeah, it's only Venusaur and Blastoise. I wonder if this is like their version of like the Chars, even though we didn't get a grand, uh, what is it, an
Like
extra
an oversized card.
oversized card of Charizard, but we did have an exclusive thing for Charizard.
We did, and we frequently do. There's always Charizard stuff, but
Yeah,
like I'm thinking specifically 151 in Charizard.
yeah,
Like 151 in Venusaur.
yeah,
Oversized, oversized.
yeah. That would be pretty intense. They're just keeping it open. It's like,
I mean, it would make sense. They would make a
yeah,
lot of money. Why
yeah,
not?
for sure.
Why not?
Right. Why not? Why not? Yeah. But yeah, awesome. Looking forward to it. The cost was like what, 60, it's like 60 something,
I think it's 59.99.
59.99.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. We'll keep you guys updated. And if you are interested in getting it too, why don't you drop us a comment on how you're gonna get it. Awesome. Next, we're going to go into our Paradox, my purchase of the Paradox Fury Premium Collection, which I'm going to share my screen, my window actually.
And this was the Amazon exclusive item that we talked about last episode, right?
Correct. Yeah. And this thing is awesome. Like, we were talking about how Amazon, buying cards from Amazon, but it actually came in and it came in like perfect condition. It was awesome. What I was found interested, what I found this interesting was how the the case for it and the oversized a raging bolt. I really liked it. I'm actually creating like another collection of extra large cards. And so it's kind of adding on to my Iron Valiant and my Raging Bolt.
Hmm.
So it's pretty good. I actually got good pulls. I got maybe like 3 SIRs out of this, including the all the birds or the ancient Pokemon, not birds, but ancient Pokemon.
Yeah.
Walking Wake, Raging Bolt, and Gouging Fire. But no, if you guys want to get this, it's extremely awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There was no, I was kind of shocked that there was no Stellar Crown. It was
Oh,
only, yeah, it
yeah.
was only Temporal Forces, Obsidian Flames, and the regular Scarlet Violet, but there was no Stellar Crown, which I was,
Okay.
or Surging Sparks.
My guess is that these were probably produced before
Mhm.
those sets came out, even though it didn't release until a week or two ago, they had probably made them in advance.
Yeah, yeah. But this was cool. The Charizard one premium box came with one.
Okay.
I know I've showed it.
Yeah, the one touch display stand.
Yeah. So this one came with three, which is awesome.
That's
And
cool.
I'm gonna stop my share. And yeah, I don't like the way that it sits on. So they look cool,
Okay.
but like this thing is just like
Oh,
plastic.
it's like flimsy.
Yeah, it's not even. You know what this reminds me of?
Um,
Red
I don't know.
red Solo cups.
Oh yeah, that's a
It's exact.
good comparison.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But no, it's super sweet.
Yeah, because like the display stand that the Charizard Premium Collection came with, the plastic is just as hard and rigid as the One Touch.
Correct. And like the card sticks on it.
Yeah,
Like this thing ain't like
right.
I'm there. Like, you know,
Yeah,
and it takes a lot of force for it to,
right.
you know, to get out of that.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well, that's kind of stinky, but I mean,
Yeah. I was not
yeah.
I was like kind of, you know, thrown out about that. It's like, well, how are you supposed to display these cards? I mean, you can keep them like this, but
But you need
uh,
something to hold it up.
correct.
But you don't want
So
necessarily a solo cup to do that.
no. Exactly. And here's my ranging bolt. I think it's sweet.
That's cool. I like the jumbos.
Yeah.
I think they're neat.
Yeah, it's super cool. I'm
The
gonna start
pro
playing with them.
the one downside about oversized cards is they're easier to damage just because they're so big,
Right?
which means buying them on the second hand market in good condition is even more difficult. But like if you're the one that pulls them, I mean it's still hard to keep them nice. It's just like they're so big.
Yeah. You said you have a binder on that has that you can put these in?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll get it.
I have an extra if you want it.
I think I got a little, it's already almost a little damaged. Oh no, that's just the way the card is bent.
Do you need a binder?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many I'm gonna get, but
Yeah.
if I get this ball Blastoise one, that makes it three. I might as well put them in something.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I have one I can give you.
Okay. But yeah, it's adding up. I got the Ranging Bolt and the Iron Valiant. Keeping them, you know, I wish they don't make sleeves, do they?
They probably do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably do. That's a good point. Like, because, I haven't even thought about that. When I put cards in binders, I always sleeve them
Yeah.
even before I put them in the binder. I never thought to do that with the oversized cards. I just put them in the binder. I should look for some sleeves and then
Yeah.
put them in the binder. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Because I mean, they're just sitting out. And I feel like it's the same. I treat them as the same material as if like I do have like a holographic card just sitting there. Like I feel like I need to do something to protect
Yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure. I kind of feel the same way about jumbo cards as I do about coins now. Like
Hmm.
I'm not collecting them in the hopes of them going up in value. I mean, maybe they will, maybe they won't, but I'm just kind of collecting them as like an additional thing. Like I'm not going out of my way to get them,
Yeah.
but if they come in a set, then I'm going to enjoy them. Like I'm going to figure out a way to display them and enjoy them and not worry about value so much, not worry about trading them. Just kind of like it's kind of like an accessory
Yeah.
to my regular card collection that just happens to come with stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. It'll be interesting, Andrew, if you're listening to this episode. Are you going to be collecting all the coins too for your with your collection of what's he collecting again? Oh my goodness.
Crown Zenith.
Crown Zenith.
Yeah, I think he is because I know
Is
he
he really?
wanted all of the various dice that came in the various ETBs.
Wow.
So I think he was going for all of the Crown Zenith coins that are out there, which I don't think
Awesome.
there's that many. There might
Okay.
only be like three different variations, if that.
Yeah. He's making some good progress. I know he's showing us some stuff.
Yeah, for
Check it
sure.
out on our Poké Collab website. You can check out Andrew as well on his collection there. And if you have anything that you can offer to him, he's up for it.
Yeah, I thought I was excessive when I came up with the concept of the perfect set. And
Yeah.
then Andrew's like, oh, well, there's stuff that Warren hasn't even thought of that I'm going to include in this set. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is insane. It's going to be like
Yeah,
a museum piece.
at all. That's gonna be crazy.
Hmm.
Awesome. Well, that's the Paradox Fury Premium Collection.
Thanks for sharing,
Uh,
Ivan.
yeah, it was awesome.
I am a little bummed about the solo cup stand.
Yeah,
I wonder if I wonder if any third parties make a better stand. I don't
I'm
know
pretty
though.
sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I have to see that what I have to look up. I know it's probably on the box. What's the dimensions of this?
Yeah, because
And then
I think that's a standard size of a holder.
yeah,
But yeah, if you're watching this, if you know of any good stands for the 3 card one touch display, let us know.
yeah, sweet. But all right, Warren, go on to the trim UI.
Yeah. I don't have a ton to share about this yet,
Mhm.
but I did just want to show it to you guys. We
Sweet.
talked about it briefly in another episode that I had ordered one, primarily to play Pokemon games on. So this is the Trim UI brick in all its glory. Let's see if I can get the focus on it. And it does have RGB. So these 2 function buttons light up, and then all of the trigger buttons light up, and then there's a light at the top.
That's cool.
There's a toggle switch. So these 2 function buttons on the front, and then this toggle switch are programmable to do whatever you want. So I programmed the toggle switch to toggle the lights on and off.
Mm.
Because most of the time I don't want the lights on because of battery drain.
Better change.
So I just turn them off with the toggle switch. That works really well.
Yeah.
And then for these function buttons, so this doesn't use cartridges, it just plays ROMs with
Okay.
emulators. And so this particular handheld just has your D-pad, your face buttons, start, select, and then a menu button. And then it has 4 trigger buttons.
Okay.
And then it has 2 volume buttons. And then on the side is your power button and that programmable switch. So there's no joysticks on this one. There are a lot of handhelds similar to this that either have a single joystick or dual joystick. Since this does not have a joystick, I've programmed this button to toggle between D-pad mode and joystick mode. So like let's say I were going to play Super Mario 64. You can't play Super Mario 64 with a D-pad. You can only play it with a joystick. So if I press this button, it changes the functionality of the D-pad to act like a joystick. So you actually can play Super Mario 64. Of course, it's not perfect because it's not actually a joystick. It just kind of like simulates a joystick. But that's what this button does. And then this button I have set to change the brightness of the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but you can program them to do anything. And then, so this, I've learned a lot about these handhelds since I've had this. This one has a single SD card slot.
Okay.
So I have a 256 gig SD card in it. And then it has USB-C for charging,
Hmm.
and then a second USB-C port up here as well.
Oh wow.
So you can use it with like an adapter to connect to a display if you want to, play games on a TV or something. So this has a lot of emulators on it. Um, for basically any system or console that you've had in the past that you want to emulate. I'm not going to go through it all here. That could be another video.
Yeah.
But primarily, I wanted it to play Game Boy Advance because I was a big Game Boy Advance fan when it was out. And I know you were into Game Boy Advance too, Ivan, when it
Correct.
and so I've kind of been reliving some of my youth uh on this. with Game Boy Advance. So I got this for Game Boy Color, Pokemon games, and then Game Boy Advance. And
Okay.
I've been playing Final Fantasy Tactics Advance
Oh,
this past week. I also played some Choo Choo Rocket and some Jet Grind Radio, and GT Advance 3. So I've been having a lot of fun with this thing. The controls are really nice. It's very compact. The battery life lasts probably about for 6 or 7 hours of gameplay of Game Boy Advance. Um, yeah, it's in like I think it was like $60 shipped.
wow.
So it's really fun. Like I'll admit that I am a habitual what's it called when you scroll? Infinite scroller. I'm a habitual infinite scroller at night in bed. And it's a bad habit and it's a waste of time and a waste of my life. And this has helped me get away from that because like it puts something in my hands that keeps me busy, both in my mind and my hands busy. And I'm actually doing something that I enjoy and that I'm actively engaging in that isn't infinitely doom scrolling. So I've been enjoying it at night in bed for that purpose, and I'm having a blast with it.
Nice. That sounds good.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned on another episode, something called retro achievements. Do you want me to just show that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, let me pull it up. Give me 1 second. Just to give you a visual and have an idea of what I've been talking about with retro achievements. Let me get logged in. Okay, here we go. Sign in. So it's retroachievements.org is the website. And these handhelds, a lot of them have the emulator that it uses is called RetroArch or RetroArch. I forget what the true pronunciation is. ARCH, Retro ARCH. And RetroArch has retro achievements functionality built in. So basically, you go to retroachievements.org, you make an account. Once you have your account, then on your handheld, you can log into your Retro Achievements account in RetroArch. And then it just logs you in each time you open up a game, as long as your device is connected to Wi-Fi. And then what that enables, and I'll share my screen now. So what's cool is when you're playing on your handheld and you're connected to Wi-Fi and you're playing a game, games have achievements. So this retro achievements website and this program that they've developed, people that are in this community can create achievements for old games. So
Oh,
like let's
wow.
load up Pokemon Crystal. That's one of the games I've been playing to get achievements for. So here's Pokemon Crystal Game Boy Color. And this for me really changed the way that I play Pokemon. So let me give you an example. So here's you can tell the achievements that I have because they're lit up. And
Okay.
then in these grayscale icons, these are the achievements I don't have yet. So like um let me show you this. So here's the achievement for beating the first gym leader. So there's an achievement for just defeating him, plain old, beating him. But then there's a second achievement, beat Falkner with Johto Pokemon only.
Hmm.
So that kind of forces you to get creative. You can't use any Pokemon from Kanto region. You can only use Pokemon from Johto region. Not only that, but the Pokemon that you use from Johto region have to be level 9 or below. They have to be less than or equal to level 9. Also, you can't use any items.
Wow.
So like it makes you really think about your team. Like what Pokemon can I use to beat this gym leader that are less than or equal to level 9? So like you can't grind. Like it forces you to not be able to grind because then you have to make sure that your Pokemon stay at that level or below to be able to get this achievement. And so like it made the game much more challenging because like instead of just using my starter and getting it crazy leveled up and super powerful, and I just destroy everything with my first and only Pokemon. Like you really have to think through. So like here's the second gym leader using Johto Pokemon only, less than or equal to level 16, no items. So like it's really cool having these little mini goals to accomplish while you're playing through these old games. Like it really put new life into them.
That's sweet.
Um, yeah, and it's really neat. And like the interface is cool. Like it'll even show you like if there's a achievement that's like a progressive thing, like let's say you need to get 10 of a certain item to get that achievement. When you get the first, it'll do like a little pop-up, 1 out of 10. Then when you get the
Oh,
second, it'll be like 2 out of 10. So it's cool. Like it's not just you got the achievement, like it even helps you know how close you are to getting the achievement.
so
It's a
okay,
really
question,
cool
Ryan.
thing. Yeah.
Wow. So question, Ryan, like how does it know that you got the achievement?
Now that's a programming like a software developer would really have to answer that question. I don't fully understand the ins and outs of it. I
Okay,
think it
well,
has to do like, do you remember the old Game Shark?
yeah.
So the way that like a Game Shark would work is like the Game Shark could look at the code of a game and know what bits and bytes and zeros and ones applied to certain things in the game, like your life meter, your level, like your strength. And you could use that Game Shark to then adjust those things. From my understanding, the way that this works is kind of similar. Like Retro Achievements, the program knows the ins and outs of the bits and bytes of a ROM. And when you have done something that would trigger that group of variables, it knows it. And
Okay.
then it just kind of locks it in as an achievement when you've met those variables. I don't
Okay.
fully understand how it works. I just know that it's a lot of fun.
Well, yeah, okay. Maybe I should ask it a different way. Like, what did you do to let Retro Achievement know that you're getting the achievement in your UI?
So, like, as a user, like, what's the
Cor
process?
correct.
Okay, so like, let's say you got one of these handhelds.
Yeah.
Um, let me just pull it up. Hold on.
Yeah, because I don't know if you like download because that's really cool.
It's really simple. So, here's my main menu.
Yeah.
It's not focusing, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
there we
There it
go.
is.
So here's my main menu, and you see I have an option for RetroArch.
Yeah.
So all I do is I go into that menu,
Okay.
and it loads up the menu for RetroArch, which the theme that I'm using, it looks like a PS3
Yeah,
theme.
that's sweet.
Yeah. So you kind of just go through your settings.
Okay.
And
That
one of
makes
your
sense.
settings is retro achievements. So you go to the retro achievements setting, and then you just type in your username and your
Okay.
password, and then save. And then anytime you load up a game, if you're connected to Wi-Fi, it'll attempt to log in to retro achievements with your username and password that you've saved. If your password and username are correct, it'll log you in to retro achievements for that specific game, and then as you play, it just adds them to your account.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, does this work with even like playing Pokemon Violet, Scarlet Violet?
No, unfortunately.
So it's only with like this program.
So yeah, so like retro achievements does work with various emulators. It doesn't just have to be RetroArch.
Okay.
Um, RetroArch, it emulates all the way up to, let's see here. Um, It'll emulate all the way up to like PlayStation Portable. So
Oh, okay.
like you got retro achievements for all that stuff. N64. I think there is a PS2 emulator available that you can get retro achievements on. Um I really hope that people add achievements like because this is kind of a taboo topic, especially this past year. There are Nintendo Switch emulators that exist. And Nintendo has been really um coming down on that whole scene. But like, despite, and we're not going to talk about ethics or anything about emulation. Um, when it comes to emulating old systems of games that are no longer in production, that's typically what I've been playing. But I mean, I don't, as of right now, there are only achievements for like old games on
Okay,
retro achievements. Yeah. Let me
got it.
see if I can figure out how far it goes up to. Um, okay, PlayStation 2 is on here.
Wow,
Sega Dreamcast. It looks like Dreamcast and PS2 are the newest
wow.
that are compatible with retro
Okay,
achievements.
that's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fair share of games too. I mean, that's a lot.
Oh yeah. It's a
You
lot of
can play
fun.
for hours. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And like
that's cool.
Nintendo DS is on there, Game Boy,
Yeah.
Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. So, I mean, you're going to be able to play most of the Pokemon library with achievements with this.
Wow.
3DS is not on here yet. I'm sure that'll come soon enough, but
Yeah. Wow,
yeah,
that's awesome, man.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's all. Thanks for sharing.
Hmm.
Well, that's our show, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to reach out to us, actually, before that, you can join our pokecollab.com, become a member, and when you do, our first free 100 members get an elf badge. So we're still offering that. Still offer the offer still on the table. And then also too, check out our merch site. We know that the Evolutions is coming out. We have a shirt there that you can possibly get if you want,
We
and
should
also
show it real quick.
pins and other things. Yeah,
Let me show it real quick. We
yeah, yeah,
haven't
yeah.
we haven't shown it off for a couple episodes.
That's true.
A sweet shirt
Yeah,
that
I'm actually thinking of getting one.
our own Kayla, Ivan's wife, designed.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a unique shirt you can't get anywhere else. So yeah, with the evolutions prismatic, it's prismatic evolutions, right?
Yep,
With that
prismatic.
coming out soon, get your hands on this t-shirt.
Yeah,
There
looks
it
sweet.
is.
Yep, in all its glory. So yeah, check it out. Warren, what can we where can our viewers where can our viewers find you?
Yeah, I am Block and Pixel on YouTube. And also my wife and I sell cards on TCG Player. Our store is Block and Pixel.
Nice. And I'm on Chard and YouTube video channel is Chard216, as well as Chard on TCG seller as well. And TCG what is it? TCG
TCG Player.
player. That's what it is. I haven't said that in a while because nobody has been buying things. So please help us out.
You should just sell me all your bulk
I should. I should just here on
one day.
one day. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. This is Poké Collab, where we collect, train, and battle together. And we'll see you on episode 18.
See you next time.
See ya.